Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Connect podcast. Today we have Chetan Ahuja from ARI Finance and Advisory. Hello. Welcome back to the podcast.
Hi, Brooke. How are you? Thanks for having me.
No problem. So, can you tell us a bit about yourself? I know you're a career banker, and now you started your own business. So, can you just give us a little bit of a background of who you are and what you do and why you decided to go out on your own?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Brooke. So my name is Chetan from ARI Finance. I have been a career banker in Brisbane for the last 20, almost 20 years. I started my career at ANZ as a branch teller. I went to university in Brisbane, Griffith Uni, did my bachelor's and my master's there, and then my first job was a branch teller at a place called Woodridge, which was a bit of a rough end of town, but it was a great experience there. And I moved my way up from there into commercial side of banking with ANZ, and then moved across to NAB. And the last 11 years, I worked with NAB as a in the commercial banking, um, frontline commercial banking segment, and most recently have started my own business. At the end of the day, I decided to move away from my corporate life to starting my own business. I'm doing the exact same thing as what I was doing before, which is connecting with clients and delivering for them in terms of solutions for their banking needs and their funding needs. Yeah.
Awesome. So, what made you decide to kind of go out on your own? Was there a breaking point working at the bank, or what made you actually go ahead and do that?
I think it was wanting to just back myself. I've got the skills of 19 years working in two of the four big four banks, having the skill sets there, and clients also appreciating the work that was done. The environment within one major bank was a great learning and great solutions that we could provide. Going out on my own gives me the opportunity to give clients a broad spectrum of solutions, not just from one bank, but from multiple banks as well, or lenders as well. Sometimes a solution may not fit a major lender, so you come up with solutions for the client that may be a second tier lender, or a third tier lender, or an alternative lender, which kind of broadens the solutions that you can offer to your clients.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, what have been some of the challenges since going out on your own? Do you go to a lot of networking events? Can you just explain a bit about that?
The biggest challenge is that you're on your own. So, my firm is one of one, so it's just myself working. And you don't have colleagues around you, so that's probably the biggest challenge. But it's not so much of a challenge, really. I mean, I do miss that office environment because I was one of the guys in the office that actually enjoyed being in the office rather than working from home, because I enjoyed the cultural aspect of meeting people and having coffees and talking about transactions and so forth. But on the flip side, now I suppose I still do that, and I do that with more quality interactions. Not that interactions weren't that quality based with my colleagues, but now more quality interactions with referral partners like accountants, financial planners, customers, and referral partners, and other networking events that are usually hosted by broking communities, which is a great way to talk to other brokers as well, finance brokers, as to what they're doing, what's different in the market, and what sort of solutions you can provide. So, yeah, so that's probably the only thing I can say in terms of the difference from before and now. But at the end of the day, it's something that I completely enjoy. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. So, working at one of the or two of the big four banks, it has that brand trust. So it makes it much easier to get clients when you have that big brand that people essentially trust. Even if they say they don't, they'll usually typically go with one of those banks. Um, how are you going to approach that from a business perspective? Developing those relationships on your own with your new company.
Absolutely. So the skills are there. Developing those people at the end of the day, they don't want to bank a bank. They want to bank with other people that they trust. So
Mm.
for me, it's about absolutely being myself, being genuine, being approachable, um, and have a sort of a no BS attitude in terms of what I deliver. I'm not a salesman. I'm a solutions-based advisor. I try to find solutions for my client and make sure whatever I'm doing, it's in the best interest of my client at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you want to make sure the clients are not um, being able to providing that they're not provided a solution that they then regret. Oh, look, for as an example, I've been talking to some clients and they're like, my interest rate's X and it's quite high. And I tried to talk to my bank directly, and they dropped it a little bit, but I still feel it's quite high, and I'm actually struggling for it. And that's where I come in, where I can then go to a multitude of banks and see what's happening in the market, and then find a solution for them. Sometimes it's not rate, it's a policy. Sometimes it's not rate or policy. It's probably equity in their house. They might have a valuation that may not be as strong from one bank versus another bank. So it's a multitude of things. So how I differentiate myself is just being genuine in myself.
Yep.
I just I'm just myself in front of my client, where I just talk about what I've done before and what I'm going to do going forward. It's not going to be much different from where I was as a banker to now a broker, but the difference really is, in terms of delivering, I still want to deliver for my clients, but the difference really is I have a multitude of lenders and banks on my panel where I can find a solution that might be the best. And it's a journey for the long term. It's not transactional for me as well, where I'm not just going to complete one transaction, one home loan or a commercial loan or a car loan or a truck loan, and then move on to the next. That same client will reach out again, or I will reach out to them, continuously being in touch, making sure they're happy with what they've got for the next investment property, or the business expansion or acquisition, and so forth.
Mm. Yeah, that makes complete sense. So you talked about that you're now able to do all different kinds of loans. Can you talk about what loans you can like source for people?
Absolutely. So the main things that I do is residential home lending, commercial home lending, and asset finance and equipment finance. And residential home lending is basically a home loan, either for your investment purposes, when you've bought something for
Mhm.
investment, or to live in, or your owner occupied purposes. So that's a home lending. That's an NCCP product. So NCCP means National Consumer Credit Protection Act, where you are actually have to follow a certain guidelines to make sure that the product or the home lending that you're recommending to the client is absolutely in their best interest, because they're personally involved in the transaction in terms of the lending of that loan. Then you come to commercial lending. The commercial has various facets there. It could be commercial loan for trading businesses, or it could be commercial investment loans for someone who may be a salaried employee. They've got their home loan where they live in. They have an investment property that's also a residential home loan, but they want to maybe dwell into a commercial property. Could be a commercial warehouse. Could be a commercial shop where there is a tenant there. Could be a restaurant or anything like that, a coffee shop. So that's where commercial lending plays, where the metrics are slightly different. And then there's asset finance or equipment finance, which could range from a multitude of things. It's just not car loans. Car loans, yes, is there, but there's lots of other
Yeah.
various types of assets that you can fund for clients. So those are the three main that I can support my clients
Okay.
with. Uh, Also, the main thing to understand here is that being a broker, I also have um, access to alternate sort of lenders, where they may not fit in the criteria of the major lenders, and the policy may fit with alternate lenders. Now, alternate lenders are some lenders who may accept that maybe you have some tax arrears last year. Maybe we can still look at it. but these are the metrics to fit in. Or maybe you had to change a job, or something like that. So it just comes down to what the scenario is. But there are solution based lenders out there, and we can provide the solutions for the client. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Um, so you talk about that relationship with your clients. So it seems like you're heavily that's something you're heavily interested in, and it's important to you. What values are going to create in this new company that you just started? So obviously, we know a lot of mortgage brokers are a lot of talk. You know what I mean? To try to find, oh, I'll get you the best and over promise. But what is your approach to RE finance and advisory? How are you going to bring this message across to your new clients, like who you are and what you do and what separates you from all the other mortgage brokers?
Look, there's a lot of brokers out there, absolutely, and there's absolutely nothing negative to say about that at all. More brokers means more competition, and I value competition. For me,
Yeah,
the
totally.
difference, yeah, absolutely, and as long as you're entrusting the person you're talking to, who can support you with their journey. It's not a one size sort of fit all approach, because every client may have something different. So my differentiation really is that I come from a major bank, with a tenure that's 11 years with NAB, last bank that I worked with,
That's so
and
impressive.
every single role that I had within that bank as well, I was not just moving around. There's people that move jobs every 18 odd months or 12 months or 2 years. I stuck with a position for at least 3 to 4 years every single time. My last role was for 4 years, and those were genuine connections and approaches that were there with the clients. You also have to realize during those 4 years, COVID happened. And a lot of those clients actually needed some solutions when there was actually not much income coming into their businesses. So being their trusted advisor is number one for any client for me. You entrust me with looking at your lending or your solutions that you want for your future needs. And that trust comes from obviously deliverance. You delivered in the past, and they're trusting you to do again, or a trust comes from being able to find a solution that they never had before. So for me, trust is number one. Clients trusting
Yeah.
me, and I'm giving them the respect as well, and being genuine and being approachable is the second and third thing for me. So being trustworthy, genuine, approachable, and in the long run, it's a partnership where they're entrusting you, and I've got them as a partner to help them down the track for their journey.
Yeah, no, that's great. So what made you initially decide to get into like this whole entire thing? Like when you were in uni, what made you decide I'm going to go into banking?
Look, it just unfolded really. I did a bachelor's of commerce with a management major, and to be very honest with you, I was not ready to go out in the world after my graduate degree. I thought I'll study a little bit more. I was living in the dormitory accommodation at Griffith Uni, and I had a job there as a residential advisor, where I had at a very young age, at the age of 18, actually, I was looking after other students within the dormitory as well, and I got to meet so many people from around the world and within Australia as well, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. And I was really enjoying that.
That's
And I
awesome.
did my undergraduate, and I was like, I'm not really ready to start working, and so I looked into banking and finance, and I thought, let me just do my masters, and this is it. I'm not going to study after this, and then I did my masters in banking and finance, and I wanted to get my foot into the big bank, and I started as a teller, and I keep saying that story that I started as a teller because that was one of the best experiences as well, because it's a really hard job. You're in front of clients that want their money, and sometimes you get very abusive clients as well. It really teaches you from a young age how to how to look at difficult scenarios and difficult situations, and being resilient enough, being calm and under control under pressure. So
Hmm.
yeah, so actually quite proud where I ended my career at NAM as a commercial banker, but started my career at ANZ as a teller, which is really good grounding in terms of experience and meeting people in their everyday lives. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a great story because they always say like you start at the bottom, and it's so true. But that's the foundation of a lot of career paths. Like I've always stayed with companies for years. I don't bounce around pretty much ever. Um, so if you could give one piece of advice to like a new business owner, what would you say?
One piece of advice I would say is find what drives you and back yourself. So you've already made the
Yeah.
decision to go out to start your own business. So there's a drive inside you, there's a hunger and a passion inside you. Just make sure it's for the right reasons. For
Yep.
me, finance broking is not for the money. Yes, money will come eventually, but it's actually what drives me is the passion to support clients and find a solution for my clients and deliver on that, and the partnerships that evolve with those deliverance of those solutions. So find your passion and back yourself. If you've got the skill sets from before, whatever your industry might be, just back yourself. And I think there will be pitfalls along the way. But like anything, there's pitfalls even when you're not in a business. You're an employee of an organization, and at that time you have only certain control of what you can and you can't do. But as a business owner, it can be quite liberating, where you run your business as hard as you want, or as slow as you want. But if you've got the passion, I'm pretty sure you'll go hard. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a great piece of advice. And if someone wanted to get in contact with you, what's the best way they can do that?
Absolutely. So my website is REARI finance.com.au, and my phone number is 0401 359 546. That's the best way to contact me. My business is in its infancy, so website's still under development, but my phone number's there.
Okay.
My LinkedIn profile's there as well. And genuine guy. I've got the backing of what I've done on paper and with people as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on today. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I wish you all the best with the new company.
Fantastic.